Welcome to ZZ Talk with your host, Zino
and Zeus.
It's the show about two guys who talk about any and everything, including pop culture, pop culture, sports, and a heavy dose of politics. It's our first show in something like 3 weeks. We've been enjoying.
And you forgot the introduction.
We've been enjoying December and stuff, and I forgot the introduction. Zeus, how you been?
Hey man, I've been good. So just a quick recap. I didn't touch on how I was a little bit sick. Which I guess we didn't discuss this before in our pre-production, but I do want to mention. So the reason I was sick is me and my wife did get COVID. So we ended up having it. I'm not gonna be like Donald Trump and be like, it's just like the flu, it really was just like the flu to me, which is funny because in my line of work I actually talked to people, and some of the people might have COVID or whatnot, and I was just telling one of the ladies was like, yeah, I had it. It was like the flu too, and it's kind of like me and her kind of agreed. I don't know if this is scientifically true, that there's possibly there's different strains of this virus. You know what I mean?
Well, it's funny you say that because there's reports coming out of the UK that there is a new strain that's coming out over there, and it's apparently more contagious.
Yeah,
which
so
is scary. But
which of course leads to another thing that's so we're good. We're fully recovered.
That's good.
We're both her and I are back to work. I technically got a medical vacation, which was pretty cool. Because
did the kids catch it, or was it just you two?
This is the one thing I want parents to know. And this is, of course, coming from just different medical experts that I have in my life, right? And medical experts, I mean, mostly nurses. Because, the majority of the time when you know medical experts, that's who you know is nurses, which any doctor will tell you they're the ones that do the real work anyways. So what I've heard from all of them, it's like with kids, it's like one of my family members, she works for a children's hospital. Some people got furloughed, which of course you wouldn't think in a hospital you wouldn't get furloughed. But when COVID was when it was big in the summer, their patients went down because kids have small body mass. That's the thing is though, and that's why there's those conspiracy theorists who think that China made it because it supposedly attacks people with a lot of mass, and Americans are very what? Not that we're feeding into it, but I'm just saying. That's one of the things that but the good thing is with kids, they're smaller body masses. They tend to not really get affected. Our kids didn't really get anything. My son got a little bit of a sniffles. They had a little bit of runny nose, but nothing too big. So we weren't really too worried about them. And the good thing is with me, what it was is I only had a fever on Thanksgiving. It was a 100-degree fever. I woke up with it. I was supposed to go to my friend's house to go boil turkey, but it turns out that we're not gonna do that because my god kids are there. Although they're they're still a little bit older. They're I think the youngest one is 7, and then my goddaughter is she just turned 16. So they're in age-wise, they're still smart. They're not gonna be all up on me or whatever. But we didn't want to deal with that, so we didn't go there. I cooked turkey here, but honestly, it was just a fever. That's all it was for me. One day. Other than that, I know Keisha Lance Bottom, right? Call back to episode 1.
Yeah.
Keisha Lance Bottom.
Well, so in episode 1, Zeus called it Mayor Longbottom, and I was like, who? Are you talking about?
So anyways, just kind of like she said, her husband, the biggest thing that he was complaining about is he was just exhausted. That's really what it was for me. I was just exhausted 3 days, but it came out of my system. But that doesn't mean that this pandemic isn't real, because there's been some people who've had it and they're like, oh, it's just the flu. I had the flu and the flu was worse. I was like, that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
There are healthy kids. Even though I said kids who are really getting affected by it, there have been healthy kids who have died because of this. There have been healthy adults. That one gentleman on Broadway, I don't know if you
I forget his name, but yeah.
I forget his name too, but he played a lot of mobsters on Broadway because I think he was Italian or something like that.
Nick Cordero, is that his name?
Nick something, yeah. Nick. And I'll find his name just for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, him. He he passed away, and his wife was like, he was perfectly healthy. So people take it serious. You know, There's people like me who got it. If I went out at all, I'm wearing my face mask to protect you, not to protect myself.
Right.
You know, because I don't want to give it out to people. And we didn't go out. We quarantined ourselves. We stayed home or whatever. And then, honestly, you want to know how I think I got it? Airplane.
So not properly not properly ventilated. It was cramps, right?
Cramp. So the Zeus family is just not traveling through air for quite a while.
Forever.
Nick Cordero.
Cordero, yeah. Okay. So I'm glad you guys are doing well.
What's going on with you? That's the fair question to ask after you ask me what's going on with me. What's going on with you?
Oh, nothing is dramatic. So funny, you mentioned the airplane thing, and I guess this should have been in the politics section, but I'm just gonna talk about it now anyway. A friend and I were driving, and we just started talking about the Biden cabinet, and we mentioned the fact that Pete Buttigieg had been picked for transportation secretary. And
people, you don't know Zino personally. If you did, you would know he has the biggest man crush on Pete. You have a political man crush, sir.
No. I think he's sharp and he has a future in the party. But no,
you're blushing.
I can tell even through my dark skin. So anyway, so we're talking about Pete Buttigieg being the transportation secretary, and he said, wouldn't it be great if he kickstarted a move towards having a continental railroad where different parts of the country are better connected. We don't have to fly everywhere. We're no longer restricted as to where we want to work and all that stuff because of that. And it was something that popped up in conversation. I was like, yeah, that would be really good. So when he said you're not flying anymore, I was like, well, maybe Buttigieg can get trains.
I have actually. So people, I'm sure the majority of our podcast listeners are in Georgia, and they know about. So those of you who aren't in Georgia, we have a big highway called 285, which is just a circle. I don't know if you remember what was the baseball. It's a big ass.
It is. Yeah.
I don't know if you remember who was the baseball player that got stuck on 285 because they just kept going. They didn't realize I think this might have been before you came. There was a baseball player who actually I don't know if he was visiting the Braves or he was playing for the Braves. He got stuck on 285 because they just kept driving.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just kept driving because they're like, when the hell is this road going to end? And they didn't realize it's a big ass circle. Funny story is when I was first learning how to drive, I knew that my exit was on 285, but I didn't know which way to go. But I knew that it was a circle, so I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna drive because eventually it's gonna come up because it's a circle. So I'll get there eventually. But anyways, I always thought so. We have 285, which is surrounds the perimeter, right? So this is 285. Then we have the other major highways, which is there's 175 and then 85, and they both intersect in downtown Atlanta. And it's really an X, which is hilarious because 75 goes this way, 85 goes this way, and then 285 is kind of on the outskirts of it, but it goes there, right? And I've always thought Georgia should create bullet trains just within Georgia from various pinpoints where there are a lot of jobs, because a lot of people live in one side of the city or the state, I guess. Mm-hmm. I guess it's a city, right? The let's just say, for example,
the metro area.
So a lot of people live in area called Norcross, which is that's over here on this part of 85, and working over here either on 75 all the way up there, or down in downtown, which is and it's like a 30-minute drive either way. And I was like, I guarantee you, it would eliminate a lot of traffic because we have some of the worst traffic because people just won't stop moving here. So I've always thought of bullet trains should be the way of the future because a lot of other countries with a lot more populations maybe, but they have them. And then also, can't you travel throughout all of Europe on train?
Yeah, pretty much. That's how we got from Paris to Germany. It was via train.
Now people make it seem like you could do that all in a day. Can you do that all in a day?
Well, the trip.
Yeah.
Paris to Germany was like a couple of hours.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a
But
very
then
short
again,
trip.
I know that all of Europe is much smaller than all of the United States, so it's just a little bit.
But I mean, yeah, I mean, it is a smaller, like continental US is about the size of Europe. No, well, if you don't count Russia, because Russia is huge on its own. But
Nobody counts Russia.
what do you say?
Nobody counts Russia.
Okay, so up until Russia, it's basically the same size. But yeah, I mean, you can go anywhere on train, and it's like it's easy, and people don't have to worry about it. So
yeah, this is just another proof that the United States, although we're the richest nation in the world, we're honestly way behind, over other developed nations.
And we could talk about the reasons why there's the oil and gas industry that would not want that to happen. There's so many.
Which I'm just like, why doesn't the oil? And I've always thought I was like, look, kind of like with weed becoming legal, right? Now all of a sudden corporations are starting to move into the weed industry. Mm-hmm. So why aren't you just moving into clean energy? Like, obviously it would suck because then, I don't know if you saw this, something about Wall Street. Now they're trading water.
What?
Yeah, I don't know too much about it, but supposedly water gets traded. Now I think they just mean stocks of water, but that's
that's still crazy.
Yeah, water. So apparently there's water. Wall Street trading. California water futures begins trading amid fear of scarcity. Okay. So I don't know what that means.
Yeah,
we'll read into it and kind of follow up on that. But yeah, so it's just like, obviously there's a fear of corporations taking over stuff, but we're so behind. We really are. We're behind. We're behind in taking care of our citizens, and we're behind our infrastructures. So I would actually invite, if something were like that to happen, we're behind on those. But we're not behind on.
What? Space. And that leads into our conversation about our top 5.
Yeah.
Which we're going to be. You want to? Yeah. Actually.
I was going to say. So, and Zino, you could follow up with me. So, I told Zino, I was like, hey, Zino, I heard there was some big news on space, on the Space Force. So our top 5 is going to be top space related movies, just because we wanted to have a fun top 5 before, just for this podcast. But, so I told him, I was like, yeah, something happened. But honestly, I'm not going to lie. So, I didn't really know what the news was, but I had heard people talk about it. You read up on it. So please tell us what's the big news on the Space Force now.
Right. So, when you're in a different branch of the armed forces, you can, if you're in the Army, you're a soldier. If you're in the Marines, you're a Marine. Different things like that. A member of the Space Force will be known as a Guardian. Literally, the Guardians of the Galaxy. So that's what we're creating over here.
The greatest galaxy.
Yeah, we're the Guardians. I want to sign up. I want to sign up.
So you can say I'm a Guardian of the Galaxy?
Yes, I do.
So I gotta ask you, do you think their rankings are gonna be based on a Guardians of the Galaxy? Like, a Star-Lord would be the main general?
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah. Major Corporal Star-Lord.
The cadets will be groups.
Oh, dude, killing it. Yes.
I'm just saying. Yeah. So our top 5 is gonna be space. I'm still tripping on this Guardian thing. Do you think it was influenced by MCU? Do you think it was influenced by the Guardians of the Galaxy? Be honest.
I think honestly, someone was just like there, be like, let's just troll the entire country and call it this. I know some people out there will love this, and so they did it.
Well, it is what it is. But yeah. So that's what you guys. So guys, pretty soon we're gonna be protected by Guardians.
Yes.
All
right. Shall we do it?
Yeah, let's do it.